Good morning. Welcome to Gordon's Studio at home, also the home of Sugar Freedom. I'm Catherine Gordon with everything that I use to train at home and what you can use too. All of this fits in 9 by 9 feet of space. That's all I need. Actually, you could probably get away with a little bit less. We did the measurements. Actually, I'll kind of show you here. So what do we got? So here's my rack, and it measures out at about, oh, what is that? A little more than 5 feet across. And I don't know how tall it is. You need to go by your height. And so about 5 feet across for the rack. And then, there's about 9 feet between this wall and the edge of my husband's desk because I'm training in the home studio. And why is this so important? Well, we're still under quarantine, still under lockdown here in California, although we're starting to open up a little bit, getting back to work. But you may not want to be training in a public gym for a while. You may not be wanting to use other people's weights. They're talking about opening gyms back up, having people bring their own weights in and things like that. I am eager to get back to the gym, but I am going to continue the things that I touch and the things that I do. I'm going to train here at home. So what I've got here is I have my Valor Fitness rack, and so there's two big pieces here, and for storage I've got all of my plates literally stored right on the rack, and then I have some more heavy plates that are stored underneath this rack here. I got to be honest with you, I did not succeed with my fitness studio. I could not convince enough people to train my way. And I think what I have been doing for the last 12 years has been very specific to the fact that I love to dance. And so everything that I'm doing with an eye to making sure that it doesn't interfere with my ability to dance. So in other words, I need to maintain my flexibility and I need to maintain what we call line, correct? And balance as well. So one of the big things that I noticed is that even though I became the Turbulence Trainer of the Year, all of these things happened because I had lost a lot of weight. That the traditional things that we do to lose weight are not necessarily the things that we need to be doing in order to truly become fit, in order to do the things that we love. In order to do what I love, which is dance, and I'm 56 now and I intend to dance forever. I'd love to, my grandmother lived to 96, I would love to live to 96, I believe, and continue to be dancing all that time. In order to do that, the first thing I have to do is not get injured. I've got to train safely if I want to be able to train for the rest of my life. It's injury that knocks us out. And we get injured when we push too hard, when we go too long, and when we do lifts and when we do techniques that we really don't understand what we're doing. So that's one of the reasons why I became a personal trainer, was to teach people how to lift and how to move safely so that they could build muscle and lose weight. But the problem is that the one-on-one personal training session, well, number one, it's very expensive, and it has to be expensive for the trainer in order to afford continuing education, certifications, insurance. So even if your personal trainer is traveling, throws everything in their car and is meeting you, they still have a great deal of overhead in that you can't maintain your certification for free. And of course you have to maintain your insurance and your training as well. At any rate, now you may have somebody coming into your house. This may be starting soon where somebody's going to be coming and training you. That's fine. But you still want to be able to keep up with your training at home. One of the biggest problems when I see when people are hiring a personal trainer is that maybe you want to meet with your trainer once a week. I am a singer, and when I am in vocal coaching, I don't meet with my voice coach every day or for every singing session. I'm going to meet with my voice coach once a week and then be able to work on my own. So you need to be able to work on your own. No matter what, in my experience of helping people transform their bodies, everyone that I have found who is able to maintain that training, these are all people who have learned a way to do a training session at home on their own. Now, they might not have the weight rack and all of the different weights that I have because I used to have a studio, but you're going to want enough to be able to do these basic movements. And we call them the big five, the 5x5. There's Strong Lifts, which does 5x5. There's Ketogains, which is what I'm doing right now, which introduces you with a 5x5. And then of course, Turbulence Training had the Big 5. And what are those movements? Okay, they're going to be some kind of squat, some kind of press or push-up, some kind of deadlift, a row, and either a curl or a tricep extension. And that's actually my modification. My Big 5 is going to be a press, a squat, a row, a deadlift, and a curl, but then also we're gonna alternate with an extension so that you're developing the back of the arms. So those are the basic 5. The 5x5 protocol that I'm using right now is 5 sets of 5 reps. No, wait, yeah, it's 5 sets of 5 reps. So I'm going to do 5 push-ups 5 times, and then I'm going to do 5 squats 5 times, 5 deadlifts, actually Romanian deadlifts 5 times, 5 rows 5 times, and then 5 curls 5 times. So for a total of 25 reps per exercise. And this is for, the great thing about the 5x5 is that you can lift a weight that is heavy for you in a safe manner. One of the things that we got into back in, it really started in 1969 with the book Aerobics, and going forward is this concept that we were going to let go of the low rep strength training and we were going to replace it with cardio in order to condition the heart and to burn calories. Now, there's nothing wrong with conditioning the heart, and there's nothing wrong with developing endurance, so that if you want to go out and you're going to, oh goodness, wouldn't it be nice to go to an amusement park? If you're going to go to an amusement park, that you can go all day long. So there's nothing wrong with developing endurance. The problem is that when we sacrifice strength and intensity for endurance, we can't let endurance training, cardio training, calorie burning training, we cannot let it eliminate the training we do to get strong. One of the reasons why, and of course having overcome obesity a dozen years ago, the first thing I had to do, the number one thing I had to do to completely transform my body was to trade cardio for strength and intervals. But the priority was strength, and here's the reason why. Especially if you've ever had metabolic issues, if you've been overweight or obese like me, you're already responding to food in a specific way, and you're responding to exercise in a specific way. And here is how I was responding to cardio. Cardio did 3 things to me. It made me tired, hungry, and it conditioned my body to use less energy. In other words, when I would do cardio, and many of the people I know, when I would do a 60-minute aerobic class, during that entire 60-minute class where I didn't stop and where I didn't rest, I was teaching my body how to use less energy. I was making my body conserve energy. I was making my body more efficient. Now, if you're living in an atmosphere that we're living in today in the United States of America, where generally plenty of calories are available, there's plenty of food to be had, there's plenty of calories to be had, the last thing you want to do is teach your body how to conserve calories and conserve energy. So what is the solution? We take some of that time that we were spending in that 60-minute aerobic class, and we get into the home studio or the gym when we can go back, and we do strength training. And why do we do that? Because with strength training, we are developing muscle. And only muscle, glorious muscle, beautiful muscle, is going to keep you from becoming too efficient. In other words, your muscle is going to be taking glycogen, taking the glucose out of your bloodstream. It's going to be using the food that you eat in order to build and maintain itself. It really is a win-win-win, because a proper resistance training program is not going to increase your appetite. It might even reduce it if it's short and bursty and intense. It's not going to increase your appetite. It isn't going to make you tired, too tired and injured. So it isn't, if it's well designed, it isn't going to be so long and exhausting that you're just going to fall into bed for the rest of the week. No, And then also it's going to maintain your body's ability to use the fuel that you put in without storing it as fat. So that's the story, and that's what this is for. So what I have here is I have an Olympic bar with Olympic plates. I also have, let me show you this, and this is actually, if you are a beginner, if you're a beginner, this is what I recommend. So this is a classic standard bar with a couple of clips. Doesn't take up very much room. And even if you didn't want to get a rack yet, you could actually store this under your bed and get a couple of plates. This weighs about 10 or 11 pounds on its own. And then, so you could certainly start training by simply using this bar empty. And then you could do the big 5 with that. You could do rows, you can do deadlifts, all kinds of wonderful things. You can do squats. And then as you get stronger, you can add plates. So that's what I would recommend on Amazon, a couple of 5-pound plates, and that will get you going. So thank you for joining me here in the Gordon studio, the Sugar Freedom office, where the training happens. All right, 5, 5, 5, 5 squats, 5 push-ups, 5 Romanian deadlifts, 5 rows, and 5 curls. You can do that, right? All right, I'll see you back here for more training and more tips. Take care, everybody. Oh, like, subscribe, and share, and come back for more. Bye-bye. Glasses on.